In the last episode we left off with Fresh to Best reaching 2000 achievement points, and we started with some of the easier achievements so we can warm up, but this time it's a little bit different. As you can see, as Fresh to Best is fishing, we are in a raid group, and this raid group is gonna bring us a lot of achievement points. Why? Because we're doing a Ulduar 25 glory run. And I might say that Fresh to Best got extremely lucky because from the day he started to farm achievements, he instantly found a Ulduar 25 glory group. So, enough with the chit chat, let's begin. On most of the bosses, I'm gonna try to do something like a brief explanation on how to do the actual achievements from the perspective of a DPS. I will try to explain some stuff, but if I want to explain every single achievement as different roles, it's gonna take me so much time and the videos are gonna be like 2-3 hours long, which is impossible for me to do currently, but I'm gonna do my best to teach you whatever I can, guys. So, in this group, Fresh to Best got assigned to be the passenger of the siege engine. Basically, as a passenger of a siege engine, you have 3 abilities in total. Number 1, I think that you guess what it does from the icon. It just deals AoE damage. Number 2 are the rockets that you can use to shoot down the pirate, as I'm gonna show you now in some fast footage. This is most likely the easiest role that you can have here. As you can see, I need to shoot down pirate as the fight goes on, because on hard mode, Flame Leviathan has a lot of HP and the fight is somewhat long. And Warmane, I think, patched the pirate and made it despawn quicker than before, because I remember in the past, pirate that we shot down at the beginning was enough to kill the boss, but now pirate disappears if you do not use it, so there is no point to bring massive amounts of pirate down because they are gonna disappear anyway. So while the fight is going on, I shoot down pirate as you can see it and help out the demolisher to get energy from it and kill the boss. It's one of the easiest bosses that you can actually kill, but also there is a lot of ways that you can fail here, because if you stay in the blue light as you can see here, you're just gonna get destroyed. If you stay in the big flames that you're gonna see in the second in front of the boss right now, you're also gonna die, and the ads can kill you pretty quickly. I'm gonna speak only about the achievements that Fresh to Best actually does, not all of the achievements, because there is gonna be a lot more raids like this one in the future, and you're gonna be able to see how the different achievements work in the different videos. And 2 minutes later, the boss is dead. And now let's speak about how many achievements you're gonna get at once from this boss on hard mode if you're here for the first time. Fresh to Best actually got 4 achievements at once, which puts us over 2.1k achievement points already. As you can see, you get those 4 achievements just by defeating the boss in hard mode. There is some side achievements on him, but we'll speak about them in the future. And now the second boss, XT. This is one of the more boring bosses in Ulduar, because basically there is only one tactic on him and he has a lot of HP when you defeat him on hard mode. And if you're wondering why we start with XT instead of Razorscale or Ignis, it's because a lot of people were missing the Iron Dwarf medium rare achievement on Razorscale, and we leave it as last because it's a very time consuming achievement, and these raids sometimes last up to 3 or 4 hours, and people cannot stay until the end. They get frustrated and they leave. So it's best to save it as last, so only the people who are here for the entire run are actually going to take the achievement, and not boost people for one achievement and after that they leave and you need to replace them. So XT is basically defeat him in hard mode, which is kill his heart and do like 40 million damage or something like this. And congratulations, we got the Heartbreaker achievement, so this is one more achievement for the glory. The third boss is Kologarn. one of the more controversial bosses, because here is some side achievements which are pretty interesting and pretty hard for some of the Warmane players to actually do. One of them is if looks could kill, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you who have completed that achievement have struggled a lot, because like it's extremely hard to just move from a laser for most of the people, I guess. But this is a glory run, we're not gonna do any of the side achievements. Here we're doing the disarmed achievement, where basically we need to kill Kologarn's left and right arm, and in an interval of 12 seconds after that the boss must die. So the easiest tactic that you can actually do is get the boss to around 30% HP, after that kill both of his arms at the same time or close to the same time, because when you kill one of his arms, he takes around 15 to 17% of his HP as damage. So just like that, we got the achievement, and it's one of the easier achievements for glory that you can do. Absolutely easy tactic. And there is one more thing that we need to speak about. We come to Ulduar 25 not just for the glory or for the achievements, but we come for something really important, which is a pain in the to get. And we're talking about Herald of the Titans. You just saw that I took an item, which is not best in slot for Retri Paladin, but it's gonna work if you plan to do Herald of the Titans in the future. There is a pretty cool biz list, a Google spreadsheet that I'm gonna add to the description in the video. You can go check it out and you can start collecting your Herald of the Titans gear. Some of the items from Ulduar are actually for the Argent Defender also, so be sure to always check the lists and roll for the items that drop for you who are best in slot for Herald and Argent, because in the future you're gonna need them, trust me. And now about the Assembly of Iron boss. Here there is again 4 or 5 different achievements that you can do. I do not have an iron boot flask, sadly, but I don't care because I know that I'm gonna do a lot of Ulduar runs in the future and for sure I will be able to complete the achievement. Currently the hard mode here on this boss, and most of the achievements for glory, by the way, are the hard mode of the bosses, is to start with the small boss at the beginning. This is considered the hard mode. Here there is also a side achievement. You can get this achievement by stopping the cast of the boss, which is a ultra easy achievement on 25 player when you have like 15 people who can actually interrupt, and it's a pretty cool side achievement that you can do easier on hard mode because you start with that boss actually, and you do not need to wait like 5 minutes for people to interrupt it. As soon as it dies, you're gonna get the achievement. And as you can see, this blue circle on the ground, as a DPS you need to stay on it because you're gonna get a 50% damage increase. Not always you're gonna be able to stay on it as a melee DPS. As you can see, I'm doing my best to stay there, but I cannot. But as a range DPS, you can always stay on it. Here on Moglame, there is only one spell that is bad for you, and it's called Rune of Death. As you can see, in 3 seconds it's gonna pop off. And before it pops off, you need to spread, because as you can see, he puts a extremely big green rune on the ground and you're gonna take a lot of damage from it. The idea is to stay far away from the blue circle when he casts, so after that you can take advantage of some more extra damage. That's the whole tactic. And this time it was a perfect attempt for us because we got a blue rune just before he died, and now we can kill Steelbreaker as the last boss. This is the hard mode of this Assembly of Iron fight. And just like that, the fight is over. We completed the hard mode achievement needed for the glory. Also, we completed the side achievement, Can Do That While Stunned, where we actually need to stop the cast of the smallest boss. And that's 2 more achievements done for Fresh to Biz. We're getting really close to 2.2k achievement points already. Auriaya is gonna be the 5th boss for us. And here we need to do the Crazy Cat Lady achievement, where we actually need to keep her Sanctum sentries alive while we kill the boss. As a DPS, you just need to do one thing on a hard mode. You need to stay in front of the boss, because as you are gonna see in a moment, the boss deals a massive AoE spell in front of her, and you need to stay stacked together because the damage is spread between all of the people in front of the boss. So when you're best in slot and you have strong people, like, you do not need to have 20 people in front of her, but you need to have at least 7 or 8 up to 10 people at least to be able to survive the Sonic Screech. While we're fighting the boss here, the off tank is holding the Pharaoh Defender and the Sanctum sentries, as you can see in the far right corner, and basically that's it. Like, there is a different achievement that you can do here. It's called 9 lives, which is an awful achievement because, like, you need to stay 10 minutes here fighting the boss, but that will happen in another video. And for this video, Auriaya just defeated, and we got 2 more achievements. We got the Crazy Cat Lady achievement, which was the requirement for the glory, and we got fresh to best to over 2.2k achievement points already, and this is only the beginning. Also, there is one more achievement that is constantly happening in the background, and that is the Conqueror of Ulduar, where basically you need to kill every single boss without any player dying during the encounter. And it's similar to the Immortal and the Undying titles that you get from Naxxramas. The difference is that here you can do this achievement in multiple runs. There is no requirement to do it in a one single raid. Basically, when you do Conqueror or Champion of Ulduar, you're gonna do most of the bosses on normal mode, so you don't have any issues, but sometimes you get some of them while doing glories if the group is good. Then we jump off to Hodir, which is the 6th boss for us. Here you can do like 3 or 4 achievements at the same time. Of course, this is a glory run and we didn't care that much about the side achievements, but some of the people really insisted that they actually want to do the side achievements. Some of them are RNG, but some of them are actually skill based, where you actually need to do like really hard tactics, like move 3 yards to the left, after that move 3 yards to the right, which is extremely hard. Like I don't know how else to explain it, but Hodir is a straightforward boss. A good advice that I can give you is, if you are a caster, you need to jump every 2 to 3 seconds because you're gonna get a debuff. You will not see it here on my Paladin because I move constantly, and you cannot see it. And another achievement that I just got is staying buffed all winter, which you get just by playing and staying stacked together, because the friendly NPCs that you can see here are actually buffing up the group with different stuff. And this that we've done just now is Cheese the Freeze achievement, which we failed, not which we have done. I'm really sorry, because of course it's extremely hard to move 2 yards to the left and after that 2 yards to the right. So as you can see, because a lot of people actually wanted to do the side achievement to not get hit by the flash freeze, we actually wiped so we can attempt it again, and sadly we will not get Hodir on the Conch achievement. But as I said, we're here mainly for glory. I even don't know why the leader insisted so much that he wanted this achievement, but it seems that somebody in the group actually needed him, and most likely he was his friend, and yeah, whatever. Then we failed one more time. It was another fail, so we wiped again. The leader even started replacing people in the group. We didn't have another choice. But at the end, without me complaining, we actually managed to do 2 of the side achievements plus the hard mode for Hodir. So we got like 4 achievements at once from a single boss, which is super nice. Where 2245 achievement points already. And here comes one of the coolest bosses for me. Cool because I still have herbalism and mining, and here on Freya, as many of you will know, there is a lot of Lich Bloom, Frost Lotus and other stung that spawn. These are expensive herbs here on Warmane Icecrown, and while the people are actually fighting with the ads, I was walking around collecting Lich Blooms and other tongues. Why not make 3, 4 to up to 500 gold while the others are fighting? Because yeah, we've spent a lot of gold since the beginning of the series, and you know that we're gonna need a lot more. But just before we started Freya, we were just clearing the last packs of trash. The leader wanted us to go to another boss because I guess we were waiting for somebody who needed Freya, or maybe he just wanted to get one more DPS so it's easier to defeat Freya. So we've decided to go clear some more trash and face Mimiron before we face Freya. And from this point on, things get a little bit harder because Mimiron on hard mode is one of the harder bosses, even for a group like ours where we are almost best in slot. Every single person here is either best in slot or is extremely close to best in slot. There is still some side achievements that you can actually do on this boss, which can be hard for most of the players, but we are focusing on the glory. And phase 1, as a range DPS, you can see that you need to be spread. As a melee DPS, there is only one ability that is scary for you, and that's Shock Blast. The boss is casting it right now. If you're close to the boss when this happens, you're gonna instantly get one shot. So it's best to just go out like 1 or 2 seconds before he starts casting, just to play safe. Basically, the hard mode of Mimiron is close to the normal version of the boss, with the difference that, as you can see, there is flames all around the entire room, and you need to be careful with those flames because the flames grow in the direction of the group. So now is a perfect example of how we stuck close to the flames but on the edge of the room, so we can direct them to this position, not to go in the middle of the room where we're actually gonna face the boss later, but to be here. And phase 3, a difference is that here you're gonna get emergency fire bots, which are basically going to extinguish the fire for you, so be sure not to AoE or kill them, because they have low HP and they can die easily. As you can see, the emergency firebot is doing his job in the background while we're waiting for the range DPS to kill the head of the boss. Then the last phase is just like on normal, but if the extinguisher firebots were actually active, you're not gonna have any fire. So congratulations, we got the firefighter achievement, which is one of the harder ones for glory. And then this was one of the more strangest moments because we went to Ignis after Mimiron. We still have not faced Freya yet, and here I have the Stalking the Furnace achievement, which is basically to kill Ignis in under 4 minutes, but there is one more achievement that I actually need here, and that is the Hot Pocket achievement, where basically you need to get grabbed from the boss and survive the entire duration of being grabbed. But sadly, even I was doing low DPS just so I can give the boss more time in order to get grabbed, but I didn't have luck, and some people got grabbed like 2 or 3 times, but I didn't get grabbed at the end, and no luck for Fresh to Biz this run, no Hot Pocket achievement. And we finally went to Freya. The hard mode here is to kill the boss with all of the 3 elders alive, and for some people here this is a hard one, but in most of the runs where we actually have such strong DPSs, it's no tactics instead of hard tactics, because we over DPS the boss. We deal more damage to the boss than she could heal herself even with those stacks. If you get adds spawned, do not kill them, ignore them, and just nuke the boss. For us, it was literally a 1-minute fight, and at the end we got 4 more achievements from a single boss. Like, Ulduar is the ultimate place for achievement, guys. There is no other raid or dungeon that can give you so many achievements. Then we went off to face Thorim, and Thorim is one of the bosses who also has a lot of achievements on him, like any other boss in Ulduar. One of the achievements that we are planning to do is I'll take you all on, which basically is to enter the tunnel event and participate. But one important thing that you need to know is that you need to hit the Rune Giant and the Runic Colossus at least once with the auto attack to be sure that you're gonna get the achievement. The other one is Sift, which basically is to force the hard mode. The third one is Lose Your Illusion, where you need to defeat Thorim while Sif is present, which is the hard mode itself. And this is the achievement that you need for Glory of the Ulduar Raider. Also, there is a bonus achievement, Who Needs Bloodlust. Basically, you need a Shadow Priest who is actually going to mind control a Dark Rune Warbringer, and he just needs to keep him mind controlled till the end of the fight, and you get a 20% haste increased for the entire group, which is an achievement for playing smarter and defeating the boss in an easier way. Some crazy achievements here. And now we're left with only 3 more achievements that we need to get Glory of the Ulduar Raider. This that we're going to do right now is I love the smell of Saronite in the morning, which is basically to defeat General Vezax in hard mode. And this is a pretty simple task if you're smart enough. As you can see, I'm removing my Shadowmourne because there is gonna be some Saronite vapors that are gonna spawn in the room, and they have extremely low HP. So if you do AoE damage, you are actually going to kill them. And the whole idea of the achievement is to wait for all of the Saronite vapors to spawn, which takes around 3 minutes, and after that a really big ad will spawn. You need to kill the ad and then you can finish off the boss. One thing that you need to keep in mind as a range DPS, at the beginning do not do any damage because you need to save up your mana. If you lose your mana, you're not gonna be able to fight the Saronite Animus, and you're not gonna be able to kill the boss. So basically that's it. We're left with 2 more achievements that we need. The next one on the list is Yogg-Saron Zero Light, where we need to kill Yogg-Saron without the assistance of any keepers. Here on Yogg there is a lot of side achievements, but we shouldn't forget that this is a glory run, so we're focusing on the glory. As you can see, the leader wanted us, the melee DPS, to stay AFK at the beginning so we do not mess things up. So sadly I cannot show you what you can do as a melee DPS right now, but in another video you're gonna see it for sure. Right after phase 1 ends and you enter the actual fight with Yogg-Saron, you can target Sara, which is above Yogg-Saron, and you can type /kiss to get 1 more bonus achievement. Kiss and Makeup, basically a free achievement that you get here, but Fresh to Biz is always welcoming free achievements. And one more achievement that Fresh to Biz actually wanted to try and attempt to do was in his house he waits dreaming, which requires you to enter 3 portals of Yogg-Saron so you can experience the 3 visions. This is not required to happen in a single raid, but you might need some RNG to get the achievement, because even if you do not do it in a single run, after that on the second run, if you do not get into the portal that you actually need to experience, you're not gonna get the achievement. I didn't care that much about the achievement itself, because I know that I'm gonna take it in the future. I'm gonna do a lot of Ulduar runs for a lot of different achievements, and not only achievements. At the end, Fresh to Biz didn't manage to get the achievement because this was zero light and we couldn't risk wiping to the boss. So we entered 2 portals only and we managed to push the boss into his last phase. At the end, we managed to defeat the boss. We had some casualties, but everything is complete and Fresh to Biz got 6 achievements. 6 achievements from a single boss, Yogg-Saron. And there is even more achievements that we can do here, but maybe in the future. This brings us close to 2.5k achievement points. But wait, there is still another achievement that we need because we have not completed the Glory achievement. And this is one of the most annoying achievements in PvE for most of the players. Iron Dwarf medium rare. Annoying, you may ask, why? Because as you can see we have a 10-minute berserk timer. The easiest way to actually do this achievement is to wait the entire 10 minutes so the boss can berserk. And in that time while you're waiting for the boss to berserk, you're gonna have an insane amount of ads on 1 or 2 of the tanks, which need to keep them alive until the boss lands. So when the boss casts Deep Breath, he can actually one-shot the ads and you are gonna get the achievement. A really boring achievement to do, but you need to do it. There's no other way. And this was a 10x time lapse that we've seen while I was speaking, but now I'm gonna leave it in real time so you can actually see what happens. The boss is gonna berserk any moment, but he's still on the ground. When this timer ends, for the boss being on the ground, he's actually gonna cast Flame Breath, and after that he is gonna fly in the air once again. So the idea is to lower the HP of the ads to under 40%, so we're sure that the boss is actually going to one-shot them. Why are we waiting for the boss to berserk? Because if he has not berserked, he's not gonna be able to one-shot them. It's gonna take him like 2 or 3 attempts to actually do this, and this is the safest and quickest way. Congratulations, we got the glory, we got the medium rare achievement, which brings us 5 points shy of 2.5k achievement points. We need to do something about this, and I have a perfect idea on how to finish up this raid. And of course, that's by defeating Auriaya. As you can see, we have dead people in the group, which means that we will not get tiers, but at least we are going to get a title, and at the very end we even got something else. As you're gonna see in a second, one of the best in slot trinkets for Argent Defender for Fresh to Biz actually dropped. The Comet's Trail. This is a huge trinket for Fresh to Biz. I know that you can take most of them from the Vault shop on Warmane store, but getting it naturally is way cooler. And I think that you do not need to guess who actually won the trinket. Of course, Fresh to Biz won the trinket, and he is 1 item closer to the Argent Defender. There is still a lot of people who are doing Herald and Argent, not only boosting runs, so I'm really happy about this. It's a huge item that Fresh to Biz gets. So at the very end, we finish off with 2.515k achievement points on Fresh to Biz from Ulduar. We got around 450 achievement points from a single Ulduar run. So Fresh to Biz was extremely happy with how things worked out. But there is a lot more stuff that Fresh to Biz needs to do. So on the next day after the Ulduar, Fresh to Biz decided that he's going to pay a little bit more attention to fishing. Because fishing achievements are one of the harder ones that you need to complete and require a lot of patience unless you're extremely lucky. Fresh to Biz hit around 200 skill. It's not the best tactic to actually fish here, because the higher skill you get, the bigger chance of fishing up a coin you actually have. But Fresh to Biz was doing some work in the background and he just wanted to chill here. And while he was fishing, his raid browser is always open up and he's looking for different groups that he can join. As you can see, he is already in a group, and this group is for Molten Core. So while Fresh to Biz is waiting for people to gather up, he's not wasting even a single minute. He is just fishing and increasing his skill. And while here, Fresh to Biz has suddenly remembered that he actually forgot to take his mount from the Ulduar 25 glory. And this is one of the easiest 310% mounts that you can actually get in game. Either from 10 or 25 glory of the Ulduar Raider, you get a 310% mount. Well, Fresh to Biz is not gonna use it because he has Invincible already, and he prefers to have one mount for both flying and running on the ground. But yeah, it's a pretty cool mount. A lot of you guys will actually love it, I'm pretty sure. After that, the first coins started to actually come up, and the best thing was that Fresh to Biz actually managed to get 225 skill right before we got our first ready check for us to begin the raid. And there we go, off to Molten Core. And if you don't remember from the last episode, we're mainly here because of the Hydroxian Waterlords reputation. I'm gonna put it up on my watch list right now so I can track it while actually doing the raid. But also we're gonna get an achievement from defeating Ragnaros. And by the way, there is some pretty cool transmog items that actually drop here, and some of them are worth a lot of gold. So why not make some gold while farming the achievements? It's gonna be the best case scenario if we can do so. Like for example, these Lawbringer leg plates are looking pretty cool. I like the look of them. And as you know, I've done some posts regarding to the transmogs. Maybe in the future we can do some transmog with them, who knows. It's better to take them now, to have them later. You can dispose of them if you do not like it and you decide to do another transmog. Also here, the drop rate of Librams required for Insane in the Membrane title have a pretty high drop chance. By the way, you can basically even farm them in these classic level 60 raids or dungeons, but it's not only that. The main thing in focus of Fresh to Biz right now is to get the reputation and maybe get some cool transmog item. The achievement is something like a bonus, because for sure in the future I'm gonna be back here, I can assure you. Most of the bosses and almost the entire raid Fresh to Biz can clear by himself, but he decided to come with people so it's easier and he doesn't need to stress out that much. At the end, from one run we got halfway through Revered, and in the next run for sure we're gonna get the reputation to Exalted, so that's one more thing, check off the list. And slowly but steadily Fresh to Biz is advancing, already at 2545 achievement points. So I think that the warm-up is complete, and now Fresh to Biz can actually start with one of the harder achievements, because this time Fresh to Biz is gonna do one of the hardest ones before actually doing the easy achievements. And because we have trained our artisan fishing, now we can start to fish for one of Fresh to Biz biggest enemies, or if I might say, potential enemies. Because we're talking about Mr. Pinchy. I'm pretty sure that everyone watching here knows what a pain can be to get Mr. Pinchy. Sometimes you catch him up to 5 times and you still don't get the pet for the achievement. Because catching Mr. Pinchy is only the first part. After that, you need to get a pet from him. So there we go. We start off with one of the hardest achievements that you can get in fishing, that requires a lot of patience, because you cannot fish Mr. Pinchy in open water. You need to fish him in these highland mixed fishing schools. And it's a really boring and exhausting process if you're not lucky. Sometimes at these spots you can get 5-6 people wanting to farm Mr. Pinchy and they disappear for 2-3 minutes, so even if you want sometimes you cannot farm here. And yeah, Fresh to Biz is just praying for the best. But sadly, it's not only the achievements, because Fresh to Biz needs to get some gear also. He found a random group for Ruby Sanctum 25 Heroic, and the leader wanted to inspect Fresh to Biz so he can take him in the group. And all of our Mr. Pinchy idea went south because we needed to go to Violet Holt to get inspected. Of course, the leader accepted us, so we are in the group, which means that Fresh to Biz will have more time to try and get Mr. Pinchy. While fishing for him, we got the 250 fish achievement and still no Mr. Pinchy. But because Fresh to Biz actually has herbalism, while waiting for the schools to actually respawn, Fresh to Biz was fighting these big 3 elites because they drop a solid amount of Outland herbs and modes of life, which is the most important. Because in the future, Fresh to Biz is gonna need some Dark Moon decks. I'm not gonna say why, but I think that most of you will know why I will need the decks. And no, I'm not going to sell them. So I didn't manage to farm much before the group was almost full, but I wanted to squeeze out every single attempt that I can, because the sooner we get it, the better. And it's gonna require a lot of fish, I can sense it from now. But sadly, duty called and we needed to go to Ruby Sanctum. And finally, after so much time, you're seeing Fresh to Biz in a raid. Because there is so much content going around with the achievements, like I still continue to do raids and stuff like this, but I cannot squeeze everything into a single episode. It requires a lot of time, so thank you for your patience, guys. Here, I really hope that we're finally at least gonna see an item upgrade to drop for Fresh to Biz. Because now when we got to this point, it's getting extremely hard to upgrade anything. But we had a slight issue with this group. We wiped once because of a silly mistake. After that, we gave it another shot, but sadly we've wiped yet again. Then the leader actually started to replace some people. We tried different stuff, but it was not feeling like it was correct. Like, we were not dying because the group was that bad. We were dying because of one simple little mistake caused by someone, which becomes a train wreck suddenly. And that's why you should always know why people want so high gear score for Ruby Sanctum and why they want you to have the achievement. Like, you can buy a character with the achievement, yes, of course, you can get boosted, but this is arguably the hardest boss in game. Like, for me personally, it's way harder even than the Lich King, because the player base which actually kills Halion on Heroic is lower than the player base that kills the Lich King. During the years, I've seen a lot of guilds who actually manage to kill the Lich King but struggle with Halion a lot. We're speaking about Heroic difficulty, of course. So we got another wipe here. And then we even wiped one more time. And at this point, because of the fails that we were doing, people got really frustrated. And a lot of people didn't want to actually continue the attempts. So extremely unfortunately, the leader announced a raid over, and basically that was it with the group. So we have an ID on Ruby Sanctum, we don't have a second shot for this week, and we didn't even manage to kill the boss. Well, at least we tried, which is the most important thing. Maybe next week we will have bigger luck, and we'll actually manage to kill the boss. Who knows, we will see. But back on the business, it's about time that Fresh to Biz finally learns his cooking skill so he can start off with the cooking achievements, also because cooking and fishing are related in a lot of ways and a lot of achievements, so it's really important to always level them up together so you can farm both the cooking and the fishing achievements at the same time. I'm not gonna show the entire process of me leveling up the cooking. It's not that hard, there is a lot of guides. If you just Google them, and you can find a lot of quick ways. You can basically buy all of the materials from the auction house, and after that you can just stay at one spot and level up your cooking at max skill in no time. There is always a quick way to level up a profession, a cheap way to level up a profession, and a slow way to level up a profession. Like for example, some of the recipes you can actually buy from vendors in Outland, which are gonna allow you to level up your skill a little bit quickly. But if you do not wanna fly around and search for different recipes, just buy it off the auction house, and that's it. It's a pretty easy profession. But once you're in Outland, there is some recipes that you need to buy, not for skilling up your cooking, but because you're gonna need some of the recipes for some achievements. And it's a good place to start out here in Nagrand. If you have not done any quests with the Kurenai, you're gonna need at least neutral reputation with them to unlock the vendor which sells the actual recipes. So basically you can come here in their camp and you can do the first two quests, which are extremely close to the camp, extremely easy to do, and after that you can come to this NPC and buy the 4 cooking recipes that it sells. And the cool thing that I like about the Overachiever add-on, it is that it actually shows you if you need to cook a recipe for the achievements, which is gonna help you a lot in the future to track achievements, because some of them require a lot of stuff to happen. It's a wonderful add-on. I seriously advise you to go and download it now if you don't have it. And when finally having enough skill, we can finally come to Shatrat and start doing the cooking and fishing daily quests here in Outland. You're gonna need them for a lot of achievements. They are tied both to cooking and to fishing achievements. So we just picked up the cooking daily quest from the rock. After that we're paying a quick visit to Old Man Barwell to take the fishing quest. This time the quest that we have for fishing is here in Terokar Forest, and we will need to go to Blades Edge Mountains to do the cooking quest. But let's start here in Terokar. Most of the quests are really simple to complete. For example, the Blackfin Darter you get from any river in Terokar Forest. It does not drop from lakes, only from moving water. So basically you come and in 5 to 10 tries maximally you're gonna catch it. Really simple. But for the Super Hot Stew it's a different story, because you're gonna need some recipes before you can actually do the quests. The recipes are easy to obtain, they're just sold by a vendor here in Blades Edge. You can buy the recipes. After that, right next to this vendor location, you can find raptors and serpents. You can find them all around the place. And a good tip that I can give you is, you need to farm a little bit more than you need, because if you get enough materials, you can craft enough food so you can complete the quest like 3 or 4 times without needing to come here or to go somewhere else to search for serpents or raptors, just like I did. After that, you just need to come here to Forge Camp Terror. You need to kill an Abyssal Flamebringer, and after that you can cook the stew on the corpse of the Flamebringer. Of course, before that you need to actually cook the required items, but yeah, the quest is really easy to complete. I cannot cover everything, the videos are gonna get way too long. So off we go to Shatrat now to turn in the quests, and let's hope that we're gonna get some of the recipes that we need from the first turn-ins. I remember that in the past I was always taking crate of meat before barrow of fish. Like, both of the rewards actually drop recipes that you need. For the barrow of fish, there is Skullfish soup recipe, which is unique to the barrow of fish. But I plan to take the crate of meat at start, and guess what? We got the Kibler Bits recipe, which we need for the achievement from the first ever quest turn-in that we have done from the crate of meat, which is pretty awesome. Instantly after that, Fresh to Biz came to Dalaran in order to start the cooking quests in Northrend plus the fishing quests, because we're gonna need to do them for a lot of time every single day. Also, Fresh to Biz trained all of the new recipes and he got 2 more achievements. We got the Grandmaster Cook achievement and we got the 50 cooking recipes achievement. From this vendor you can buy the other recipes that you're actually going to need in the future and the famous chef's hat. So as you can see, every single new recipe that we have learned, we need to cook to get the Northrend Gourmet achievement. But let's not forget that we actually have Deckmaster, because yes, he is still alive. Now I'm gonna buy some rhino meat and some chilled meat, because you're gonna need them for the daily quests in Dalaran. So it's good to always have a small reserve in you, at least 1 stack of both. Then we can finally log back on to Fresh to Biz, and this is one of my favorite quests with the rhino dogs. Damn, I have done this quest like I don't know, 1,000 times during the years already, and like I feel like I have never done these achievements. Like I forgot so many important stuff. I forgot how to complete some of the easiest quests even, but Fresh to Biz has warmed up well and soon he will start to get in good achievement hunting shape, I promise you that. And here is the first ever daily cooking quest in Dalaran that Fresh to Biz has done, and our first ever Dalaran cooking awards. We get an achievement with this, which takes us over 2.6k achievement points. And lucky for us, we got another award in the bag. You will not always get the Dalaran cooking awards in the bag that you get from the quest, but once you do, it's pretty cool. So off we go to the fishing quest right now. Some of the fishing quests are like literally a joke. If you spend a little bit of time to actually read the quests, you're gonna read some funny stuff. For this quest, we actually need to go to the sewers of Dalaran and we need to fish up a piece of corroded jewelry which drops for 2 or 3 casts at most. And now it gets interesting, because fishing does not give you cooking awards directly, but there is a slight chance that you can get a waterlogged recipe inside of the bag of fishing treasures. Before we open up the bag, let's train our master fishing skill, because we almost forgot to, and that is 1 more achievement. So now we can open the bag, and sadly we didn't get a waterlogged recipe, but maybe we'll have more luck in the future. As you can see, the bags of Fresh to Biz are starting to look like a complete mess, filled with all kinds of stuff. But this is what happens when you try to farm achievements. Sometimes it's really hard to decide what you actually need to delete or sell or move to your bank, because you're gonna need a lot of items. And with this, we're going to end this episode, because it's already 50 minutes long. But these type of episodes are gonna be a little bit longer, because I'm trying to explain how to do some of the stuff. Because if somebody watching actually wants to attempt the achievements, they have something like a heads up on how to do most of them. But don't worry, it continues the next time. We have a lot more stuff that we need to do. Now Fresh to Biz is moving to do some more fishing daily quests. They're not exactly fishing daily quests, but they are daily quests for something else. But you will need to see that in the next episode. For now, sadly, I need to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. If you stayed this far in the video, which absolutely a small percent of you will actually stay and watch till the end. I'm especially thankful to you guys. Drop a like, comment, and if you have not subscribed, drop a sub also. See you in the next one.